Hey guys, it's Maymay and welcome to another video. Recently, I mentioned in a YouTube video that I would like to do a tour of kind of my favorite new tools or the things I've kind of adopted to my work surface this year. And you guys said you'd love to see it. Now, in no particular order, I'm going to show you these products. And I also want to say these are not necessarily new release products. They're just new to me and I think they deserve a mention. So let's get started. Before we do, please hit that subscribe button. I always forget to ask you early in the video. It's free to subscribe. It just really helps me out. And if you like this kind of video, give it a big thumbs up down there because it lets me know you want to see more of this style of video. All right, let's start with my favorite thing that I did learn about this year, and that is this yellow tape. This is the Spellbinders. I think it's just called yellow tape. I don't know. That's what we reference it as. By the way, all the products will be linked in the description. So everything I'm showing you today, I'll link them to our store so you can pick them up. This tape kind of fooled me. So we were in a workshop this year, Shannon and I were, and everybody was talking about what's a good tape we can use? What's a good tape? And someone in the comments mentioned this one and people went crazy over it. And I was like, okay, we need to try it. Well, when it came in, the first thing I did was peel it off and put it on my finger. And I went, oh, no way, Shannon. This is super sticky. This is going to tear our paper. This is not going to be good. I'm like, how can so many people love it? So we decided we were just going to use it, just see how it went and use it like we normally use tape. So we started using it in die cutting. And I realized that taping my dies down, I was able to take this tape, peel it off the project, put it back on, peel it off, put it back, and use it like 7 times through my die machine before I had to replace it. And I think I could have even gone longer than that. Now, I stuck this on here to show you. So this is a die. I cut this out with a, this is a die cut. I cut it out with a die. And what I want to caution you on is one thing, and this works with any tape. When you're going to release something from tape, don't peel it from the paper's edge. Your paper is the weakest here, and if it's gonna tear, if it's gonna separate, that's where it's gonna do it. Instead, come back here and peel it away this way, and you will not have, at least you won't have as big a chance of tearing your paper that way. I find, especially with some of these kind of papers that seem to be a little bit laminated, that not laminated with plastic, but like designs kind of laying on top of designs, sometimes you can tear them if you're not careful. But this tape, I do not put it on my jeans. I don't take the sticky off. Like usually, you know, I would put this like on the surface and try to get the sticky off before I use it, but I don't. And it's fantastic. Just make sure when you release it from anything you cut, don't do it from the cut edge, release it from the middle. You might even consider, look, I just did it, but I didn't stick it down. You might even consider kind of folding one of the edges under. Shannon does this. She folds one of the edges under because she's so much sharper than I am, okay? So she folds an edge under, and then she uses it like so to tape her die down, right? And then when she goes to take it off, she kind of has given her a little lip that she can lift up, and that works really well, okay? So yellow tape, and let me tell you, it's going to go a long way. How do we know? Well, number one, I already know I'm going to get 7 times the use out of this because I can use the tape 7 times before I have to replace it. And look how much you get. It's so much. This one, you won't be sad you put into your craft stash. That's what we'll say. You won't be sad about it. It's amazing. All right, let's talk, what's next? Like I said, I'm not doing these in any order, but there's some I have more to say about than others. So let's talk about this one. So this is the Jewel Picker by Marvy, okay? Not new to the market, not new to me. It's not even new to me, but it is new in the fact that I have picked it up and started to love it. So we got this probably 2 or 3 years ago in the store because customers recommended it. And I got it and I put it into my little caddy and I had it there to use. And I just never really did. I've always been a quick stick user and I still am. I'm going to explain to you that in just a second. So this year when we were doing dashing through the stamps for you guys, I realized how much we started to use this for sequins and glitter and things like that. So we'll put some of these little sequins out on the table and I want to show you what the Jewel Picker is. It's basically this pencil or pen shaped piece that on the ends has that kind of gummy stuff that you can rinse in water and let air dry and it's sticky comes back. You're familiar with that. You get a chubby end on one side and then you get a little thinner end on the other. And I love the way it picks up sequins and it picks up glitters and it moves them to your work surface. Now, if I had glue down, that would hold. And one thing I really love about it is it doesn't over stick. Over time, it gets less and less sticky and you can rinse it and bring the sticky back. But when I have glue on my surface and I sit something down, it typically stays in the glue, which I love. Now, I do not find I like this for paper, which makes sense. It's called the Jewel Picker. It is not called the Quick Stick. I find the quick stick works better for paper because it doesn't seem to, the fibers of the papers don't affect it like it does the jewel picker. If you use this on paper, the fibers make the stickiness go away much faster, and it doesn't hold as well on paper. But it's great for flat back pearls, sequins, fine, not fine glitter, like chunky glitter, anything that is kind of plastic or that kind of use, this guy works great. And again, not new to the market, not even new to me, but I just kind of picked it up this year for the first time and made so much use out of it. So absolutely love it. Also, while we're at it, this is not, I was going to do tools in this one. This is not really a tool. I love these Nuvo little sequins and things. They come in all different kinds. We have them in the store. I love the little glass bottles. They're recyclable. You know, you can use them in your craft room over and over again. You can even, when you're done, take the label off and turn it into a little gift. I love these guys. So good. Just an honorable mention. All right, let's talk markers. So these just came out. Oh my goodness, these are new to the market. Now, sort of new. What these are is new and improved. That's the difference. If you remember, Nuvo markers looked like this for years, and they came in 3-packs. They still come in the 3-packs, and they come in this new shape in the 3-pack. But I got to tell you something. If you've been on the fence about trying alcohol markers, this is the way to do it. I love what Nuvo has done. They have made for you these 24-pack kits and also the 12-pack kit. So you can get all the colors in the 24 or the 12-pack. And they've changed the shape. Now, here's what I want to show you. Here's the old one, okay? It has a, I'm using my left hand. Why am I doing that? Let's try to do it better. All right. Oh, look, I have never opened this one, so that explains why that was. This end, you get a chisel tip. On the other end, let's see if it's as hard. No, you get a bullet tip. And I love this. I love the shape of it. I never really understood if it was ergonomic or not because, you know, they both, one end's kind of chunky, one end's kind of not. And if you shuck it down to the cob, this centerpiece is kind of the same shape, but instead of thinning out like this one does, the new one is fuller all the way down. And you'll recognize this shape. This is not a new shape. You probably recognize a lot of markers kind of keep this shape. But I took these home over last weekend to play with them, to do some samples, and I love them. I love the way they feel in my hand. I love the nib on it. Do you see that there? I love that nib. Let me show you the chisel tip. See that chisel tip? I love all of that. I also love how easy seeing the numbers are now. Before, you have them, but you see where that one is right there? Like it's on the end and it's in black. These are white and on there so you can see them really well. And you know what else? It's on both caps, which I love, and even better, it's also on the marker. This one, we didn't have that. Strangely enough, I'll show you. If you tore this off like I just did and didn't realize it is perforated, but if you tore it off like I just did and didn't think about it, you wouldn't have the number on there. And on most of my markers, I tore that off. But if you didn't, you could match them back up. And only one end had the color and the number. And so, I don't know. I think this is a very welcomed improvement. And I think I'm going to have these at hand all the time. Matter of fact, I've got a technique video coming out for you because these have gotten my love for alcohol markers back going. So, love, love, love. Let me show you. These are not new colors. We discovered this on a live show recently. These are the same colors, just different setup and different marker. But look how great. Aren't they great? Love them. Okay. I can't spend too much time on everything because I got too much stuff. All right. Next, I want to talk to you about, let me see. All right. Let's talk about one that I know you're going to want to hear about. And I'm going to clear the air. Barely art. Why am I going to clear the air? So here's the deal. You guys that know me know I have been an art glitter glue fan since, I want to say 2016, maybe even before that, probably much before that. But art glitter glue has been my go-to. I still believe it is my go-to because I'm a paper crafter, number one. And I'll explain what I mean by that. So this product is fantastic. I have no fault with it. Not at all. No fault. Is it different than art glitter glue? In my opinion, yes. Is it bad? No. It is fantastic. Here's what I'm going to tell you about barely art glue. I believe all glues, I don't care what glue they are, I even believe glue manufacturers will tell you this. You have to learn the glue. Glue has you kind of get a feel for the glue. For example, let's say you were using like tacky glue. You use a whole different amount of tacky glue and use it in a whole different setting than you do something like this, right? It makes sense if I was telling you about a different glue. With this glue, comparing it to art glitter glue, here's what I see. I find this one a little meatier, okay? Meaning a little beefier, I should say. I love it for paper crafting, but you have to know you need even less of this than you do of art glitter glue, and you need a tiny bit of art glitter glue. I find my favorite places to use the Barely Art is like chipboard to chipboard, mixed media. I love it for mixed media. And the reason is I tend to have a little heavy hand, and you don't want a heavy hand with this glue. You really don't. Less is more, which is great for us. We as consumers love that because we have to buy it less often, right? With the art glitter glue, I love it for my paper crafting. I find that I really believe it's because I know art glitter glue inside and out because I've used it for so long that I know exactly what size line I need for what piece of paper I'm using. And that might seem funny to you, but if you're a paper crafter, you know this. With any glue, the paper you're putting it on matters. If you're putting on cardstock, you can use a different amount. If you're putting on glitter cardstock, it's a different amount. If you're putting on metallic cardstock, it's a different amount. If you're putting it on acetate, it's a different amount. So you get used to that. All in all, I want to tell you that whichever one you have in your craft stash, you will love them. I don't believe that. It's hard for me to tell you one is not better than the other. The only place that they differ significantly is in temperature control. This guy can go in freezing temperatures. I can ship him to you in the wintertime. I don't know that heat affects it. I feel like heat might affect it. Do not, it's interesting. Do not swallow, do not get in eyes, do not freeze or heat, right? So I believe that heat definitely affects it. And it says not to freeze, but we have frozen this in the freezer and thawed it out, and it will work after that, where with art glitter glue, you can't do that. So you decide which one you are most comfortable with. There are lots of bonuses for this one. When you buy, like, this is the 4 ounce. When you buy the 4 ounce, it comes with 3 different tips, 2 that are usable, 1 that is for storage. It comes with, I want to say, yeah, you can get the whole kit that has the refill included. This is the refill bottle. It's fantastic. You will have to learn it. If you are an art glitter glue user, you're going to have to learn that this one takes less. Now, the girls that work for me think it takes longer to dry, but I think that's the whole you got to use less situation. You guys tell me in the comments. Some of you guys may be like, oh, I could never use art glitter glue or what. It's all feel. So anyway, you tell me what you think. I know y'all been using it. I love it. And I think if I were a mixed media artist, that's probably the one I would only use. Knowing me. Look at this guy. Okay, not new to me. Been around forever. I never tried it. I don't know if a customer asked for it or if Vince saw it. See, the beauty of Vince is this. He doesn't really know craft supplies. He knows the stuff we carry and he knows what I do, but he doesn't really know what's out there. So when he sees something like this, he's like, oh, this is new, right? And I love that because he'll bring stuff in that I might have forgotten about. And so he brought this guy in. This is the finger blade from Fiskars. It fits on your finger like this and you can cut like this. And I never really thought I needed it because I had my other blades and I'd been used to them for years. And this guy changes everything. It can cause a little finger fatigue if you're using it a long time. Like if you're somebody like me and you tend to hold your tools super tight. I find that this is who I am. I hold them really tight. I press really hard. If I can use my own advice and do more passes, less pressure, I'd be better off, but I'm not that person. So I think this guy is great as long as you know, hold it lightly, more passes, less pressure, and don't let these guys kind of dig into your finger. And even at that, I've only seen kind of the finger fatigue from it when I'm doing like a full chipboard mini album or something like that, because I always use a blade for that. But I love it. I love that you can change the blades out just like you can any other craft knife. I just think it's great. The other thing I love about it is the compact size. It's very small, can fit into any little travel bag, and I think you'd love having this in your stash. Oh, the other thing, works for both of us, left-handed or right-handed. It's so ergonomically made where it can go either way. Y'all see, I'm learning about these left-handed tools. So that one is great. Okay, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, we all know this guy. We've had this guy around for a long time in different versions. When I say that, we've had it around thinner and thicker. This one is a thicker one. We've had some that were a little thinner. This is a Teflon bone folder. I never thought I needed one. I avoided one for the longest time because they are pricey in my opinion. And I avoided them, right? And then I got one and I enjoyed it, but I decided it was too expensive for me to bring it to you guys. It was back in like when I was designing for someone. I can't remember how long ago that was, but I was designing for a company and they sent me one to try and I loved it. But I was like, I cannot tell people they need to buy a bone folder that expensive. So I put it aside and did not use it. And then the Dress My Craft one came out, this one. And also I think the tonic one is now out. And I think their price point is better than what I was seeing before. And I used it. And someone at a class told me one time, you'll love it because it won't mar up your dark papers. You know how sometimes the plastic ones can leave kind of a weird line on your paper, or when you close it down, like dark papers can kind of have a little plastic line. This one didn't do that. So I love this guy. This guy has come into my world and it has changed things. I don't know why. This is one of those times I have to tell you, you're just going to have to get this and use it and see what I'm talking about. Shannon and I are the same on this guy. We only had one for the longest time, and we wouldn't fight over it, but I would find it at her station, and then she'd find it at my station, and back and forth. This, I don't know why. It is so great. It does the job of all of these, although I want all of them, and I think you do too. You can score with it. You can fold with it. One thing I love about it is this rounded edge is so great for fragile paper. You know, sometimes when you have a really sharp edge and you try to score or crease down fragile paper, it can kind of make little bumpy lines. If you use that rounded edge, it's so great. If you're using it for dimension, you can rub that rounded edge over something dimensional and it's not going to mess it up. It doesn't catch. And the feel of it in my hand is my favorite thing in the world. It's almost like a fidget spinner to me. Like, y'all know how I feel about those, and this guy is so fantastic. So these two are a definite. This guy, I love him, and I have seen one of our Made It's, Kim Dixon, I have seen her using this one to score with, and I've been picking it up more to score also, wanting to try it out. One thing I think you guys will like using this for where your scoring is concerned, this nib kind of gives a little bit. It doesn't a lot. Like, you can't really do that with your hand, but I can press it and make it give. If you're a person who over presses when you score, this might help you with that, because when you place it down, because it gives a little bit, it takes some of your pressure into itself and won't like cut through the page for you. This might be the one you want for scoring. I love it. I don't know why. I just love these guys. And they have more tools and they have more kits. We'll link all that below. I want to say I have a really big kit coming that they've just put out with all of their little Teflon tools. And I'm in love with them, and I think they're worth every penny. Also, these are going to be something, as long as you don't lose them, you're never going to have to replace them. They're fantastic. All right, let's keep going. How about this one? This is a shocker. Why am I bringing out the Misti at this point? Like, everybody knows about the Misti. Okay, apologize for the glare. Let me lift that up to make that better. The thing I love about the new Misti. Now, if you don't know, there's two Mistis. Let me grab this one. This one is from Shannon's station, or I should say the Made It station. We set up a separate station for the Made It's to film during dashing through, I should say. So that's why we have that over there. This is the old one. Do you see it? I open it like this because it doesn't have this lip. This lip is a game changer. Why is it a game changer? I don't know. Am I that lazy? I love this lip. There's something about just going flip. I don't know what it is. It's not hard over here. I do have to use two hands on this one like this because I have to hold it in place and lift it like this, or I can just do like this with this one. Maybe that's what it is. I do not know. But the new Misti, okay. Your question is, yes, Maymay, but are you telling me to upgrade? No, I'm not telling you to upgrade. I'm not telling you to upgrade. If you have this one, you don't have to upgrade. What I am telling you is, the minute somebody says to you, hey, is there something you're wanting like for your birthday or whatever? Go ahead and let them get this for you. You know what I'm saying? This is one of the things where like, you already have everything. Pick out a new Misti. Get the new one. Get the updated one. Couple reasons. Number one, you love this little lip. Number two, you may love this little parking space they made for the magnet. I don't. I leave my magnet here and I just grab it when I need it. But they do have a little parking space that this guy can live in, so you kind of always know where he's at. The ruler itself is now embossed into the pink versus being just like stuck on, like just printed on a sticker. Oh, there's ink moving around. There is one thing I want to caution you on. If you love using the ruler here, if you're big on using these rulers, you might like this one better because this ruler goes all the way to the edge, where this ruler has an 1/8 of an inch gap before the ruler starts, and it can mess with you a little bit. I don't use those rulers like hardly ever. I'm even more apt to use tape. Like if I want to be at a certain spot, I'll put a piece of yellow tape here to tell me put it there every time or something. But I don't really use it for that. I use this for just putting in the corner and putting my stamp down. But honestly, why that little lip is a game changer, I don't know, but it is. I love this right here. So that one's been on my work surface to the point that I make sure I have that one and not the other one because it's my favorite. This one, I don't know, that one. I'm saving trimmers till the end, by the way. If you've gotten this far, stick around because I got a lot to talk about trimmers. Let me show you one you're not going to be surprised about. This guy, the Joy, the Cricut Joy. Oh my goodness. I'm not kidding. This has become my new card making go-to. Like, because I'm a stamper, let me talk to you guys, okay? I have told you for years, if you're a stamper, you need the Brother Scan and Cut. And I do believe that, especially if you are a stamp collector, if you have some vintage stamps that don't have SVGs that are out now, you'd still need the Scan and Cut. And the Scan and Cut has its place, and of course I still love mine. I'm not telling you don't need it. And I'm not telling you this replaces it. It doesn't. What this does is now, so I have free SVG files with all of my stamp sets. Let me explain what that is to you. That is a file. Let me get a stamp set to show you. So here's a stamp set. We're revealing these yesterday, so you've already seen these. This stamp here, the file we give you for free is called an SVG. It means it's a scalable vector graphic, okay? And what it does is it tells the Cricut to cut a shape that will just sit on the outside of this image. So when you cut your SVGs and then you stamp onto them, you don't need a die. You can save money that way. You don't need a die if you have this SVG. And the thing I love about it is the way this guy handles SVGs. Because the mats are pretty much the size of a stamp set, unless you have a 6x8, but they're pretty much the size of a stamp set, it just makes the most sense to tell my design space to cut my SVG right here, and I get them for free. Now, is this an investment? Yes, but here's why you can do it, okay? You already have, I don't know how to tell you this except just being honest with you, okay? If you have to have dies for every stamp set you have, think how much money you're spending. A stamp set, my stamp sets, like this one's like $12.99 for this full-size 4x6 stamp set, and you get a free SVG, okay? If I had to sell you a die for this set, dies would be like $19 to $25 and more, depending on how many dies we had for this. This is one reason I just don't do dies. I feel like fussy cutting for me is not that big of a deal, and instead of spending on the die, I can have one or two more stamp sets, depending. Does that make sense? So if you invest in something like the Joy, where you can now take advantage of using the free SVGs, which I have videos on my channel showing you how to use, not only are you saving money buying dies for stamp sets, but you also have the capabilities that this guy can do so many other things for you. Vinyl, insert cards, 3D projects. It can write with markers. There's so many things this guy can do for you outside of that. So this one has become a mainstay. I literally have it on my work surface where I do my paper crafting. And almost every time now, and you'll see it in my crafting, before I even play with the stamp set, I cut out the SVG and start from there. Where before I would stamp first and then fussy cut, not anymore. I did my SVGs first. Love my Cricut Joy, not sad about it for a second. Best money I've spent in a long time. All right, let's talk about these guys. Not new to the crafting world. These are not new. These have been around. The reason I'm bringing them out is because they're new to us, because they're by Dress My Craft, right? I've seen these other companies have had these, and they're pretty expensive. You guys know. What I love about these are these ones that cut they give me 3 different options, and they're just so easy to use. They're templated for you here, so easy to use. But I love the fact that we can turn them into other things, right? These are those kind of workhorse items in your stash that you know, I'm not just buying a tag punch. No, you're buying something that'll make a little treat holder. You're buying one that'll make a Santa buckle. You know what I'm saying? You're not just buying a single punch. These guys are useful. All you have to do is think outside the box. And if you're not thinking outside the box, watch my channel. I'll do my best to do it. Oh, I feel like my camera went blurry on you guys. This one is a tag set. Let me bring that up and let you see that one. That's a tag set that looks like that. This one is a banner set. They have more. I just pulled these 3 to show you. But I absolutely love these. I do not think these are wasted in your stash. I think they are worth the investment. And they're new to me, and I wanted to bring them out to you. Love them. Matter of fact, a lot of times when I'm making a project now, I think, how can I use one of those punches? Because they're my favorite. Alrighty then, let's move on. By the way, there's videos on both of these projects on my channel if you want to see that. Okay, let's go to trimmers. Are trimmers last? Let me look. I want to be last with trimmers. Okay, let's talk this guy. This is the Dress My Craft mini trimmer. No, I did not turn it into a giant. This is the mini, okay? I do not know why you need this, but it has become a fan fave around here, okay? It only goes to 2.5 inches here, and it only goes to I don't even think it's a whole inch. It might be an inch here. I'm not exactly sure. Shannon keeps this on her desk and she loves it. Now, I think for office supply use, this guy is great. If you're like, I need to cut a straight line on this little piece of paper, whatever, that's what she uses it for mostly, is cutting straight lines. Not so much about, you know, cutting big pieces, but she loves it. I actually had to go to her desk and get it to show y'all because she has adopted it. I do not know why we love it so much, but it is so handy and so useful, and we find ourselves picking it up and using it a good bit. One way it's real handy is like if you get a lot of card hangover and you don't have any long scissors, you can like place it in here and cut everything off or what have you. But this little guy, I want to wear it like a pair of earrings or a necklace pendant because I think it's so cute, but you need it. I don't know why. The blade is the same size as the original blade, so you don't even have to have special blades to replace. So cool. All right, let's talk about its mama. So this is the Mini's mama. That's what I call it. So this is the Dress My Craft trimmer. Okay, this year we had a hard time getting my Cricut trimmer, which is my favorite trimmer. Actually, early in this year and late of last year, we could not get it, okay? So I had to look for new trimmers because you guys were like, what trimmer do you recommend? What trimmer do you And when I couldn't get you the one I recommended, I had to look for something else. I found one and I brought it to you and I still love it. The tonic trimmer, the super trimmer, still love it, still use it. We actually have it in the front store. We use it up front whenever we're doing demos. This guy though, Shannon uses this one all. This is hers. She uses it all the time. I love it too. I just tend to go to my Cricut more, but she loves this guy. Let me show you what's cool about it. The biggest thing is it has a cutting blade and a scoring blade. That's the biggest thing, okay? Your cut blade and scoring blade, what they did well is they made it where you can push the cutting blade completely out of the way and use the scoring blade without having to remove either of these to make it work. Now, you're familiar with the shape of this guy and the look of this guy. It's not new. You've seen this around before. The arm is super sturdy. I love how sturdy this arm is. I love the wider cut bed of this guy. It goes all the way to pretty much 6 inches. I just love it. And it has become a workhorse. Shannon and I both use it, but it ends up on her work surface more than mine. So this trimmer, fantastic. You will not hate it. I actually have a full review of it on my channel, so we'll link that below as well. All right, my new baby, okay? You know I love my regular Cricut trimmer. And you're thinking, well, that's it right there. Nope, this is not the regular Cricut trimmer. This is the 13-inch Cricut trimmer. And you're like, that's ridiculous. Nobody needs an extra inch. Yes, you do. For the longest time, when I start to craft, the thing that would slow me down the most is when I had a piece of 12 by 12 that had a decorator strip at the bottom, and I would forget about it. And I would go to put it in my trimmer and it would hang over down here, and I'd have to stop what I was doing, turn around, cut the decorator strip off, and then go back to what I was doing. And that just annoyed me. Not terribly, not enough to make me stop crafting, but it annoyed me. I don't have to do that anymore. The cut area of this guy is 13 inches instead of being 12, and I can get my paper or my cardstock up in here so easy, and I never have to worry about it being too long for down here, right? This is really more made for like vinyl cutting, because you know a lot of times vinyl can be a lot wider, or I don't know, sometimes you can have some hangover. Probably, if I had to guess, they did this for their Smart products, because Smart products are a certain width and then they have that extra little like feed on the side, the extra little piece that feeds it through the Maker 3 on the sides. But I absolutely love a longer cutting base. I think everybody should take this as a rule. Let me see if this one is. Wouldn't that be funny? Wouldn't that be, it's not. Okay, this one's cut area is 12 inches, okay, and this one is 13, so I just wanted to see. Now, I don't want to confuse you, because you might be like, wait a minute, I don't understand what's 13 versus 12. Okay, so the top lip up here where your paper sits to the bottom lip down here where your paper sits is 13 inches. Typically, down here is 12 inches. Typically, you just have that little area. I love this guy. It's the Cricut Trimmer, and it's just made better. I do not have a full tutorial on it. I really don't know that I need one because it's only an inch longer, so that's what it is. But I love it. Everything else is exactly the same, uses the same blade as before, same blade housing, still has the same storage as before. This is a workhorse. I will never be sad about this trimmer. It is always my favorite trimmer, and I love being able to get it. That's that one. All right, guys, that's enough. I really could keep going. There's some other tools, but they didn't like make the top for me today. These were my top things I wanted to point out to you that I've really found that I'm adding to my work surface and I'm keeping close at hand. If you have a like video topic you would like for me to do, like my favorite whatevers or techniques or whatever, tell me in the description. Maybe you've seen somebody do one and you'd like to see my opinion like of the same thing, because all crafters have different opinions of stuff. What tools I love are different than what other people love, and there's nothing wrong with that. I just want you guys to be able to make the best decision on your products that you're buying. So there you go, guys. Thanks so much for watching today. Let me bring something over so we don't have just a plain old, let's bring all these tools over. These are my faves. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please don't forget to subscribe. I cannot tell you what it means to me. And more than that, give me a thumbs up if you think this video was good. If you felt like you agreed with anything I said, give us a thumbs up. Not only does that help me to know you enjoyed this kind of video, but it helps to share it in the YouTube world. Don't forget, I put up videos all the time. You can catch them on my channel. If you're new to my channel, go check it out. We've got over 2,000 videos for you guys, going back years and years, teaching you all kinds of stuff. Thanks so much for being here today. And until next time, bye now.